Good morning, everybody. I'm very glad to be able to give a short lecture to you from Germany. As you can see, I'm not part of a university anymore. I have been professor in Leipzig in the University of Deutsche Telekom. But after I retired, and now I'm head of the European Institute of Labour and Industrial Relations. Why are we partner in this project? Because the first time a so-called public law body should be a partner in one of these Erasmus Plus projects. As I have some experiences already with TeamSoc and InnoSoc and the other programs, I think it was more or less logical that we are part of this SmartSoc project. So what I'm offering you today, as you can see, digitalization and sustainability with question mark, or sustainability or digitalization with question mark. So the question mark, of course, should show you that we have to discuss, first of all, what influence has digitalization on sustainability. This is one question. And the other question, sustainability and digitalization, what has to be kept in mind concerning sustainability in the ongoing process of digitalization. So digitalization, of course, a very important keyword in smart society. And I think just for this Erasmus Plus SmartSoc project, it is important to have some basic idea on sustainability for startup companies. That means to be aware that from a dream, a technical dream, it is a far way to be a part of the marketplace, and of course to consider the consequences of the business you intend to do. And so I'm a lawyer by profession, and so I have nothing to do with technology, but my part also in the last project always was to show the finger of a teacher, be aware of the social consequences of what you are doing. And therefore, my lecture should give you an information, and of course should sensibilize in this matter. So let's start. We have one word, and we have to consider that everything we are doing has something to do with our globe, and of course with the consequences we are doing. And we will see that just the next generations, they expect something from us. I'm the eldest, I think, in the family. We are together today. And my granddaughter will go to school next month. So you can imagine that this issue is very important for me. So first of all, digitalization and digitization. There is a difference in the meaning. Digitization, transitioning from analog information to numeric digital format. This is, if you want, the basis. And digitalization is the integration of digital technologies into everyday life by the digitization of everything that can be digitized. Analog, digital. So digital transformation means taking advantage of digitalization to create completely new business concepts. That's a bit what we are talking about in smart society in different fields. I will show you in the end of my presentation. Digitization means digitalization of data, digitalization to digitalize business concepts. You see, they are linked, of course, together. But anyway, I think it is not bad. I've never heard about these two terms before, but I think it's good to know this in background. So, just to give you an idea, what has digitalization to do with power consumption? I picked up some figures, and you see power consumption is exploding due to growing digitalization.
Lutz,
yes.
Sorry, we cannot see your slides.
Oh. Wait.
I can see it.
You can see it?
I think it was
correct.
It was okay.
I can also see it. Yes, it was correct.
Okay.
Is it okay? Okay?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So yesterday I went to a shop and I just got some information about an e-bike. And I think this is a very a small example of what we are doing. So I use my bike every day, like Peter, as I learned this morning. With an e-bike, of course, this is an advantage, not a problem, Peter. And so I think this is an example what is going on with digitalization. It's a power guzzler. That means it's exploding really concerning the electricity. And of course, as you can see, alone in Germany, per annum, 33 million tons of CO2 only for internet and internet-enabled devices are necessary. This is from the figure, the sum of all emissions from aviation traffic in Germany, of course, outside Corona. So the scientific numbers for global CSR consumption are not available yet. I think they will be blocked by all great actors in that field. But the trend of digital overconsumption, that means streaming, YouTube, and so on, does influence climate situation. And there, I think it is necessary to mention the so-called rebound effect. What does it mean? Energy-intensive production is eating up energy savings. That is with e-cars, or more driving because of decreasing driving costs. Of course, you use the car more often, and you need more electricity. This is, I come back to the beginning with my e-bike. If I use my muscles, this is CO neutral. If I have this e-bike, of course, I have to use electricity. So the question is, does digitalization make our world more sustainable? What do we have to pay attention to in this field? So that you see, 1 week ago, a bit more than 1 week ago, we had, sorry, there is a mistake. We celebrated this so-called Earth Overshoot Day. This day marks the date when humanity's demand for ecological resources and services in a given year exceeds what Earth can regenerate in that year. So it is a bit funny, but last year it was a bit late, it was a bit earlier. But because of Corona, we served a lot of these natural resources. But you can see that in 1971, this day was December 21st. So it was much earlier, much later. And so we are really using more and more. What for? What is left for the next generations? So this is not a day for celebrating, but this is a day of action. So let us come to sustainability, to sustainable development, and of course the responsibility of companies and the civil society. In 1987, it was this nice lady, Mrs. Brundtland, who developed this sentence, meeting the needs of present generation without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. This was, let's see, the general title, but there are three more aspects. Sustainable development, this is what I just say, but there are two key concepts. The concept of needs, in particular the essential needs of the world's poor, to which overriding priority should be given. And second concept, and the idea of limitations imposed by the state of technology, and social organization on the environment's ability to meet present and future needs. So you see, this was in 1987. Some decades later, that means in 2017, these Sustainable Development Goals has been developed by the United Nations. There were some steps, but this is the actual. These are the actual Sustainable Development Goals, which will show you, and you can. I won't now read them and explain to you, but you can see that there are all aspects of our life under these Sustainable Development Goals concerning the sustainable development of our globe. So if we go to all these aspects, you can see the natural resources we were talking about. We talked about energy, but we have the climate change, everybody knows it, and we have regulations. Our world, our governments, our NGOs, everybody is talking about all these aspects, but we have to regulate it. And as you probably know, there is no chance of regulating this on a global level. It is even on the national level, it's extremely difficult to talk about the climate change, for example. On the European level, it is even worse to come to a good solution. And if we see that the Americans just left all these international organizations, you can see how difficult it is really to come to a common solution concerning the future of our world. So who is touched by this? Of course, we as a whole, the society, we as a customer, we as employees, and of course, the human rights overall. So if we come to the so-called pyramid of sustainability and CSR, you can see there are three levels to be looked at. We have first of all, we have the ethical responsibilities. That means be ethical. This is, let's say, for all of us. We have the so-called legal responsibilities to obey the law. But if we say law, it is not only the national law, it is the European law, because the European Union, about 85% of all legal bases are European one. Then, of course, we have be profitable, economic responsibilities play an important role. And here, on this, Miss Carroll was the founder of this pyramid of sustainability. So it is almost the same, but you see on the left, on the right, this is the total corporate social responsibility. We are talking about companies, we are talking about startup companies. Of course, this has to be considered in all companies, in Apples or Googles, and of course in small companies with 2 people in startups. So just to see this together, sustainability means the triple P. First of all, the planet. We were talking about this and the ecological consequences. We are talking about the people, and just to make clear what Istvan said, 7 billion, this has been the figure 5 years ago. Nowadays, we have 7.5 billion people on the world. And of course, they must eat, they must drink, just drink, they must have water and so on. And the profit, who is responsible for all the development of the sustainable development in the world? First of all, of course, the companies who are, let's say, or have a leading position with governments in the world. So what does all this sustainable have to do? What is under this word, under this term sustainability? First, living within the limits, not outside the limits, but to do this, you must know the limits, first of all. Understanding the interconnections among economy, society, and environment. So that's what you saw in the slides before. Equitable distribution of resources and opportunities. Look, that's what I explained to you a bit earlier. Various groups have created definitions of sustainability and sustainable development. We talked about that. Sustainable community and society. Aha, here you see smart society. Sustainable business and production. This is the field of economy. And sustainable agriculture. We come back to this in the end of this presentation. So I just brought in the term of CSR. What does CSR mean? You can see corporate social responsibility. If we are talking about corporate social responsibility, this means, of course, the social responsibility of companies, of the economy. And you see also here you have the 3 pillars. That means social, environment, economic, and ecological responsibility. As a, let's say, as a leading term, we talk about corporate governance. You have the governance, of course, concerning governments, but you have the government, good governance of companies are behind this term. So I mentioned the corporate social responsibility. What is it about? Of course, the labor rights, the environmental conditions, human rights, which you all heard about supply chains and the discussion about good supply chains in all fields of economy, and you have the poverty alleviation. And if you just look to these, sorry, I just go back to this. If you see the Sustainable Development Goals, you can see, I go back, you can see that all this is part of the corporate social responsibility. That means it is not only an approach concerning governments, concerning the government, society, and NGOs. it has something to do with the economic activities of companies, and of course smart-up companies as well. Otherwise, concerning competition, you will be a loser and not a winner. So labor rights, child labor. Yesterday, I heard a very good report about child labor in the cacao industry, forced labor. If you go to the Middle East, you will see that go to Qatar, to the World Championship. What happens with the people coming from Nepal or from Pakistan? The right to organize. This has something to do with trade unions and safety and health at work. This is our labor rights. And environmental conditions, of course, water and air emission, which is linked, of course, with digitalization as well. And the climate change, I showed you before, one of the key problems. Sorry, Peter, I mentioned problem and not challenge. Of course, it is challenge, but nowadays we have problems with this. And it needs a lot of challenges to solve those problems. Human rights cooperation with paramilitary forces. Look to the to copper in the Democratic Republic in Congo, for example, and the complicity in extrajudicial killing, and of course the poverty alleviation, job creation, and public revenues. We just heard from Istvan that about 80 million people are refugees just now, and of course the consequences we should not discuss in this lecture. So let us go back from the more general approach of sustainable development and corporate social responsibility, but let's go back to this triangle, ethics and law and of course profit. The digital ethics is not a marginal topic only for companies. Firms that establish rules and standards for a responsible approach to digitalization gain the acceptance of customers and the trust of society. This ensures their long-term business success. Here you can see that from the general approach of ethics, we now have a new field of discussion, a new field of action concerning the digital ethics. And another wording in the future, the topic of digital ethics will become even more important as the degree of digitalization increases. I think this is a very important sentence. Companies will only be able to successfully manage the transformation if they win the trust of the people. That means to convince people of what the companies are doing, and of course the value add for the people through formulate ethical guidelines that ensure the responsible handling of people's personal data and privacy. And I think data protection is one of the leading advantages. Problems and challenges. Challenges of the digitalization, and I will just come back to this field in a second. So, what does it mean? I talked about corporate social responsibility, and now we have really the new field, the corporate digital responsibility. That means what are the points to be considered for a company concerning the digitalization of all their activities internally, that means inside the company, and of course outside the company, externally, concerning the customers and the civic society. And you see, there is no unified definition of CDR yet established. Generally speaking, the concept refers to the principles of CSR, corporate social responsibility, corporate responsibility, within the context of digital transformation. It is not restricted to compliance with statutory requirements and existing standards. The broader field of voluntary commitment is also covered. Why voluntary? Because CSR, corporate social responsibility, is a voluntary approach, European approach, but of course you can understand that in general, corporate social responsibility and corporate digital responsibility are key factors today in the competition on the various markets. And this is exactly what we are talking about. What is your role in the market? How do you act on the market? What is your acceptance concerning the products or the services you are offering to the society? And second, responsible handling with digitalization does characterize the reputation of a company and improves the quality of the products and its relations to all stakeholders. Building up trust starts with a comprehensive strategy in handling technology in a responsible way. In this context, the human being must be the center of action. If we, just as an example, if you see what happened in Europe, what happened in the US concerning the following up of the in the corona virus situation. In Germany, this the discussion of this approach of following the virus were very, very long. In other countries, of course, the sensibilization was less, so it was much faster that the governments agreed to really offer this service. So I think this is a very important point for all companies today. Why? Because the customer and of course the whole society is attends that the companies do their job in a proper way. So here you can see all in digitalization, what is behind the digitalization. You have the economy, the environment, and the social approach. That's what I explained to you earlier. But if you see, you have the electronic waste. This has something to do, of course, well, before yesterday, my telephone it didn't work anymore. So I went to the first thing. Okay, we throw it away. Is it is a good way? No, I said please send it to somebody who can repair it. You see, we have repair coffees nowadays all over the place. In Germany, and I'm sure in your countries as well. The word green IT, sustainable T services, dedicated innovation systems, mobile business. Aha, mobile business, that's what we are just using on the labor market with a lot of consequences. Just to give you a small example, I have a good friend. He is up to 200 kilometers from his home, and he didn't see his office for some. Can you hear me? Fehler aufge.
With some
Sorry.
small problems in last seconds.
Yes, I just. Okay, you can hear me?
Yes, we can.
And you see my slide as well?
No, we see your screen.
Aha. Okay, wait, I must go here. This. Okay.
It is starting probably.
It's okay
Yes.
now.
Yes, okay.
Can you? Okay, okay. Thank you. So I just wanted to say, so he came back to his office after some months. The first thing he noticed that all his plants in his office just died because they had no water. Nobody was in the office for months. So this was one consequence of mobile business. So social media, a very important point in this concerning data, data. Help me, of data security. So sharing economy, and you can see all these points are part of digitalization, concerning, of course, the three pillars of digitalization. So what can be an action plan? An action plan could be, sorry, something happened. I did something wrong. Action plan. So, okay. You can see?
Yes.
Hello? Yes? So, an action plan concerning this, something must be wrong. So, know-how. So, how can I really come to a sustainable digitalization program? Watch it. That means you must know what we are talking about. And this is why I give you this lecture, just to have an idea on what is going on. Zoom it. That means be aware what to do. Then, of course, just do something. Not only have the theoretical background, but just do something. Then mind the gap. That means you must be ready to find out that something is missing in your processes, and go for impact to do it or to integrate it in your business plan. So what are the interconnections between both the digitalization and the sustainability? So digitalization, and I started with this a bit earlier, digitalization has not only to satisfy the dreams of engineers, but to take into account the needs of the society in general, the needs of the individuals, that means also in the next generation, the limitedness of natural resources, we were talking about this in the beginning, and the problematic nature of green gas, that means CO2. So I just made some research on our home pages, and I found the German Action Plan, Sustainability and Digitalization. And these are the three steps or the three pillars of to combine sustainability on the one hand and the digitalization processes on the other. Digitalization must support human beings in their individual development. That's about this, what I showed you in the last slide, that digital technology must serve society, and digitalization must serve the preservation of our national resources and may not oppose them. To be honest, I do not agree that we are just talking about national resources. I'm talking about global resources, as I showed you some minutes before. So just to have some digression, that means besides the main topic, we start our heater or air conditioned. We measure our data using our data when biking, jogging, swimming, watering, strawberry fields, everything we are doing, we measure. The amount of data 2018, I found out, was 33 zettabyte. This is 10 and 21 zeros. 2025, it will be 175 zettabyte already. So what are the consequences? We are producing data which are evaluated by companies and governments. But for what purpose? Who benefits? And what does that has to do? What does it to us, to the individual, to the economy, to the climate, and to the environment? I think we will not. We are not able to answer these questions. But I think we have to keep in mind that these are really the questions which have to be answered from today. No, we should have started much earlier with this, but latest from today in the future. And what are the consequences? The total individual transparency, social media, pros and cons. And what's about our individual intransparency? Do we have really an individual curtain? Can we really hide ourselves behind a certain curtain? You see, these are questions of an old man, perhaps, but I think it's not like this. Your generation must be aware that these questions will have to be answered in the future. So what's as a summary? We are in an initial phase of digitalization. There's no question. Reliable numbers of the consequences of digitalization are not available yet. Digitalization has many positive effects for companies. That's what I showed you. For employees, and of course for the civil society in general. But due to the rebound effect, we are not able to estimate the influence of digitalization on the sustainable development. These rebound effects we see every day. If we are what we are doing now, in Corona, this has of course concerning energy and concerning CO2 consumption, very important influence. Anyway, we may not lose sight of the consequences of digitalization because of our world, because we only have one. Just to end, I just have some pictures of digitalization, and my question is, please think over what are the pictures you can see concerning smartphones on the one hand, and what can you do with this in terms of digitalization. Here you can see measuring in the agriculture. Here you can see electricity, which is today a key factor of energy, of electricity, and of course of digitalization. And here you see the smart farming approach. What are the challenges in the farming field? Thank you very much for your attention, and please feel free to ask me questions because I formulated also some questions which should be answered on the one hand, but perhaps you have another opinion. Please feel free. Thank you.
Thank you, Lutz. Now we have one question from Jorma. So,
it is
Jorma.
not so much a question, but as a comment. It was very nice that you closed your presentation with smartphones. Maybe you have heard that because of the corona situation, the global sales of smartphones has collapsed more than 20%.
Yeah.
Because now because many people, they change their smartphones, not because they are broken, but because they like to have better and more street credible model. But now, as everybody has serious doubts from economical future, they are having second thoughts. Maybe I should not buy a new one. This old one is totally good.
Yes, I know. That's what I read as well. That the producers of smartphones they have very weak figures just now.
And another element is about this digitalization. I have discussed this with my students a lot. Thing is that if we measure or practice our consumption with goods, that is fatal. As you very nicely showed us, overconsumption is reality, and it is interesting that overconsumption day came this year earlier than last year.
Yes.
But today, the young people, more and more of their consumption of money is not materialistic. They are buying services. They are buying digital services. They are buying digital movies and so on. And that I can see that is one of the ways we can still have this illusion of never-ending growth without jeopardizing our material future.
Yeah. Thank you for this remark.